Wait, it looks like mini haberdashery's about to get a little cozy.
Yes, it does. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it way down. What's going on, everyone? Daniel Rodriguez here, aka Big D. It's time to review another movie. This time it is the last movie to be reviewed by me for the 2015 movie review. This is it, man. I saw this the last day of 2015, and it counts as the 2015 movie, man. Some people may see it in 2016. Well, I saw 2015, so definitely for sure it was amazing. This movie is directed by Quentin Tarantino. It's his latest movie. It's his 8th film. A new cast, as well as some old veterans of Tarantino as well as in this movie. I mean, we're talking about old timers that are amazing. Michael Madsen, Tim Roth, they're back in this movie, man. We have Bruce Dern, Walton Goggins, Kurt Russell, Samuel L. Jackson, and Jennifer Jason Leigh, I believe her name is. Jennifer Jason Leigh is also in this movie. And as well as Channing Tatum and a few other actors. There's also the actor from The Bridge who was on FX. He plays a Mexican cabron. He plays that guy in there. Demian something. Excuse me for not knowing the name, but that is the 8, man, and there. Some of them are the 8. Honestly, this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I love Quentin Tarantino. My favorite movie out of his, and one of my favorite movies of all time, is Reservoir Dogs. I mean, when Michael Madsen, when he says this, "Are you gonna bark, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?" Just like that had me. And then the "stuck in the middle with you," when he did the torture scene, that just hooked me on right away. And Mr. Orange and everything. Fucking shut up, man. I'm gonna die. I mean, just going on to it, man. And I'm a cop. It just went on and on to such a brilliant movie, man. And then Pulp Fiction, second best of Tarantino. But either way, let's get on to this, man. This is, of course, the Hateful Eight. I'm gonna do a spoiler review within the coming days, so expect to have a spoiler review out on my channel because I like to talk about spoilers. But this is a non-spoiler review. I'm just gonna give you the pros, give you the cons, tell you whether you should go see this movie or not. And like I said, an all awesome cast again, written, directed by Quentin Tarantino. This is it, man. Let's get on to this, man. My final review of 2015. Here we go. 2016 is going to be a big year, guys. This movie, man, I'm thinking The Hateful Eight versus The Revenant. I haven't seen The Revenant yet, but I mean, come on. 2 great directors, and they sort of have a similarity in a way. In a way. Kurt Russell's beard or mustache. Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my non-spoiler review for The Hateful Eight. Before going into this movie and after walking out of this movie, I was stunned by the cast and the acting. Not one person gave a bad act in here. Everyone was believable. All the characters were so well written as who they were supposed to be. There are some plots, little twists and everything in there, plot twists. But I will say that everyone did awesome. Let's go, there are a few people who are not in here as much. I'll try to not spoil, but there are some people that are in the background more dialogue-ish. Some of them are just kind of in the background most of the time. But I will say, Kurt Russell, he was fantastic in here. I mean, Kurt Russell's not going to do a bad job. He's going to be awesome in here. He was perfect in here as John Ruth, the Hangman. I love him. Samuel L. Jackson was brilliant in here. Walton Goggins has shined a lot. I love Walton Goggins from Justified. I love Justified. He's an awesome actor. I've always loved him. Django Unchained, his part in there, he was a real cool part, really funny part. And now, in this movie, Walton Goggins shines. And I mean, he literally has a major role in here, and he's brilliant. Michael Madsen is awesome. Tim Roth is awesome. Bruce Dern is brilliant. And as well as a few others, man. Jennifer Jason Leigh, she blew me away, dude. I mean, she's technically the only lead female, and she's brilliant. She really steals the show as well. She makes it. She owns the stage, man. She owns the movie, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I think Quentin Tarantino, he picked the right actors, and whoever casted all the others, I think they all did a perfect job. And it does feel like a Tarantino movie, so the directing in here, the cinematography is amazing. I didn't get to see it in a 70mm theater, Mine was a medium-sized screening. It was just like a medium-sized screen. It wasn't a large screen, yet it wasn't a small screen. It was a medium screen. And I will say that it does look good on my theater, but I can't imagine what it looks in. I can only imagine what it looks in 70 millimeter. But I will say the cinematography in here was brilliant. The look, the snow. There are some shots where it kind of lingers on the actor for a while, like lingers on. Like there was one part where Jennifer Jason Leigh's just kind of like that, and it kind of just, she was looking out the window, and it kind of just stayed on her for like 10-15 seconds, and I was kind of like, okay, like I feel like someone else was like Samuel Jackson was talking like sorry now. I kind of felt like that, like it was just kind of lingering on for she was just looking out the window too. So, but I will say that the cinematography and the directing, I love the way Quentin Tarantino. He's just a master, man. He's a master of his own art. Kill Bill, the first volume one was fantastic. All his movies, man, have good parts in them. Even if people didn't like volume 2 of Kill Bill, some people didn't. He still makes good things out of it. The action in here, there is that regular, Django Unchained when people get shot, that blood type of boom. It's very bloody in this movie. It still has that Tarantino feel. Again, like I said, the acting and everything, the directing. My favorite part in this movie, and this isn't a spoiler. This is not a spoiler, but this is what made me laugh so much. Where I loved it is there's a part where they open the door to the cabin and they have to nail it shut, and you have Michael Matt, like, I love, because the little man, aka Tim Roth, he's sitting down, he's like, close the door, you gotta close the door, and Michael Madsen's like, close the fucking door, you gotta nail it shut. I laughed out loud, man. I mean, having Michael Madsen in the back, close the door, fucking nail it shut, it's cold inside. It's already cold inside. Like, it was just so awesome. And they're all yelling, like, to close the damn door. They have to nail it, and then they're freaking two boards. It was just, that was the best comedic. Because this movie does have a funny side. Of course, it has a Tarantino funny side, black comedy, or dark comedy, the dark comedy. And it is racism. There are the N-words. It's racist to Mexicans. It's racist to black. Kurt Russell hits the woman. There are things that will make people like, oh, he hit a woman. Oh, I can't see this. Like, it's not like he's really hitting and making the girl. It's acting. It's all part of a movie. It's nothing real. It's just the way that it's done. There is a lot of N-words and talking about black people badly, and then talking about Mexicans badly, and I'm Hispanic, so I was kind of like, the Mexican, he was really a stereotype, I'm like, all that. But was I like, I'm walking out of this movie, I'm so offended, like, it's okay, it's a movie, it's not real, so they're just characters upon characters, really. So, I will say that it's beautiful because the pacing in this movie, for me, was awesome. I know people were complaining, like, it's so boring, the pacing, all they were was talking in a cabin, but that's what makes the movie awesome, is the interaction with characters. Seeing Walton Goggins talk with Bruce Dern and their characters getting along with each other, and then Samuel Jackson talks to one of the others, and everyone just interacting with each other, whether it's a good interaction or a bad interaction. Some make you smile, some make you frown. I love that, because that is acting. That is cinema. That is real thespian acting, man. It's fantastic in here, and the interactions between Kurt Russell and Jennifer Jason Leigh and all them, I think they were all fantastic. Not one person gave a bad performance, like I said. So all the interactions and the directing, all that was beautiful. The dialogue in here was brilliant. The conversations that they had. There's a chapter 2 where it was a slow pacing. Like, if you look at all the chapters, I think there's 4 chapters in total. The second chapter is the one that was really the slowest, but yet the most interesting as well, is when Walton Goggins get introduced. His took a little time, and the conversation though that he had inside the coach wagon and everything, like the conversations they have, you really got to pay attention. And that's what I love, because Reservoir Dogs opens up with a conversation in a diner. I mean, they literally have a 10-minute conversation, but that's what makes it amazing. That's what Tarantino's good at. He's good at the dialogue. He's good at the conversations and keeping it going for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. That's what I love. We don't get to see that in every single movie. Point Break, you think there's them sitting down for 25 minutes talking, yeah, man, like, no, only Tarantino really is brilliant at that, really well, where they just sit down and they have a nice long conversation. Walton Goggins, like I said, he is brilliant in here. The tone. The tone was dark. There was a funny tone to it. There was not really a light side to it, really. There was always a mystic, dark shadow in this movie, I would say. But I do love the tone. I love the Western theme. I think Tarantino's amazing at the Western theme. The chapters, I love how they return with it. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. I love all that. And there's kind of a narrator at parts where it kind of actually helped you in a sort of way to get back to where we were. All the characters, the music in here, the score. I don't know if that was an original score, if that's a score that Tarantino borrowed, but I will say that the score in here, most of it worked. I will say that I am a fan of the opening score and everything, and the credits and the titles that Tarantino uses for his opening movie. The opening as well, the opening shots were beautiful, and again, 70mm, I didn't get to see it on there, so I'm kind of sad. So I only got to saw like the 2 hour something, 35-minute version, 45-minute. I didn't get to see the 3-hour version. I don't know what the 3-hour version has. The effects, the environment, the snow. I saw the behind the scenes, and I mean them in the snow and everything. It's literally crazy what they did and what they captured, and I'm very glad what they captured because it's brilliant. It honestly is. Being out in that snow and everything, that's crazy. Very bloody. It is. It's something you expect from Tarantino. You're gonna see some heads coming off, and well, another person, again, was Bob the Mexican, played by the man from The Bridge, Demian. He was awesome. He was awesome in here, man. I really enjoyed his character as well. He made me laugh a lot. So, other than that, those are the pros, man. Those are all the good things about it. Brewster and everyone had an awesome role in here. And it's just the directing, the cinematography, the music in here, everything worked out well in that favor. It all worked out for Tarantino that way. Now, the cons, the bad things about this movie, man, I will say that there is not much Bruce Dern. There's not much Tim Roth. There's not much Michael Madsen. Those are the least 3 people that were in there the most. They're always in the background. Yes. I love when Tim Roth was like, yes. Just, I don't know. Tim Roth is fantastic. But he had the least screen time. Michael Madsen in the back, always doing that, Michael Madsen's regular voice. I'm here to visit my mom. You don't look like the type of fellow to visit your mom. Well, looks can be deceiving. I love Michael Madsen's hair, by the way. Beautiful, freaking beautiful. Like, if I could make Michael Madsen, I'd be like, Michael, bless your soul, man. You're amazing. He's brilliant. I love his hair. Either way, Tim Roth and them and Bruce Dern. Bruce Dern gets more dialogue with Michael Madsen and Tim Roth combined. Their dialogue, Bruce Dern has more dialogue than them. And they're all brilliant, but I'm saying they don't get much screen time. They don't get much. It's almost like they're just in the background the whole time, which they are. And it's kind of just like they don't. You know what I mean? Like, they don't get much to do in this movie at all. They're just there. They never really... Michael Madsen just kind of there, and then he just, like, that's all. Really, there's no... Michael Madsen, you think he'd be a badass, like, bounty hunter guy, boom, 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 but he's just kind of there. Tim Roth as well, he's just kind of there. Bruce Dern, well, he was brilliant, but he needs to sit down and just talk. That's all he really did. But, you know what I mean? Like, I really wish Tarantino could have used them more, just like they did Walton Goggins and Kurt Russell and all them. Chapter 2 just was a little bit slow. I mean, it didn't ruin the movie. It wasn't like, oh, God, I hate this. The conversation, like I said, but that's what makes it beautiful when you think about that. But I will say that if you don't like a 3-hour movie, 2.5-hour movie, and you can't stand conversations, if you're expecting to walk in and see Samuel L. Jackson say motherfucker and kill some bad guys or kill some people, that's not going to happen. It takes time. It's the conversation. It's the dialogue. It's all about building up character. And who's that guy? Is he really who he says he is? Is he lying? You're kind of a detective. You're really there in that cabin with them, and that's what I love what Tarantino did. But then again, I will just say Chapter 2 does kind of run a little slow for me. The ending of the movie, I didn't like the final shot. I'm not going to say what it was, but the final shot I wasn't a big fan of. It's not like I walked out like, well, that was the stupidest ending. It made sense, the ending. I'm not saying it didn't. It did make sense. It was a good ending, but I was like, I didn't like the ending of Django Unchained, nor did I really like the last shot. I'm saying, like, the way to end it. I didn't like this ending as well. I guess that's just me with Tarantino sometimes, where I didn't like that ending. And there was a part where they do slow-mo talk, like, "What are you doing, man? Wait." Like, they did slow-mo talk, and I was like, I'm okay with it doing it one time, but they did it 2 or 3 times, and I was like, it's just, don't do that. Don't do that. Because it was not needed at all. It was really not needed, that slow-mo talk. One thing that I really didn't like, and it's kind of noticeable in this movie, is that Kurt Russell's character, John Ruth or whatever, he's paranoid a lot. "You know who she is? Well, don't touch her. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with me, alright?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was just always paranoid, and like every scene of the movie, he's always just paranoid. And it kind of just gets you down where you're like, that's all you're gonna do, Kurt Russell, is just be paranoid the whole time and just, "Hey, don't mess with her." You know what I mean? Like, I know it's part of his character, but he's just so paranoid the whole damn time that he kind of just gets on your nerves. And like, he's a badass, but he's not the most smartest bounty hunter as well. But he does get on your nerves because he's always paranoid. And it was predictable. Some things were predictable. There are a few things that I was like, yeah, he did that, she did that. Like, there are a few things that were really so damn predictable. Other than that, there are a few surprises. I think it was a great movie. I don't think it was the greatest movie of 2015, but I think it definitely earned on the top 10 list. It is a great Quentin Tarantino film. It's not his best, but it definitely would be on his probably top 5 best films out of the 8 films. I love Quentin Tarantino. I think he's probably one of the top 10, top 15 best directors of all time, or at least of the past 20, 30 years. So I will say that he is epic, man. This movie itself, is it worth watching? Yes, in theaters. I advise you to go see it on the big screen, man. Whether it's 70mm or as long as it's on a medium-sized screen, that's all that matters. Make sure it's that. And I do expect to own this on Blu-ray. I hope day one, man. I really want to own this on Blu-ray. That's how great it was, and the story, and the music, and the acting, and all that, man. The cinematography, it's movie porn there, man. So if you love movies and you love cinematography, it is porn for you, man. So I'm going to end up giving The Hateful Eight, my final 2015 movie review of the year, a 9.1 out of a 10. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to comment down below, let me know what do you think about The Hateful Eight. You guys can do that. And if you really like this review and want to support my channel, hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate that. And I hope to see you in 2016 and beyond. Spock with you always. Happy New Year's. Go see the movie, guys. Support it. Tarantino and his crew did fantastic. Bye-bye.